Today we're talking about one of the most researched energy boosting herbs around, Rhodiola. Rhodiola balances your immune system, it ameliorates the effects of stress, it supports in high altitude environments, and it's best known for combating physical and mental fatigue. Today I'm sharing just a snapshot of the research that's available on Rhodiola. Let's get started, shall we? Well, hello beautiful people, and welcome to the Project Joyful podcast. I'm your host, Tracy Tutty, your medical herbalist and high performance coach. So hey, Project Joyful isn't just about being happy. It's about consciously creating a life you love. It's about remembering how to reconnect with your soul-centered joy. You know, that joy that comes from doing what you love, from living on purpose, and from being in a life that allows you to experience deep joy moment by moment. So hey, let's get started, shall we? I'm often asked for herbs that will give you more energy. Ideally, you want to be ensuring balance in the systems of your body and in the ratio of sympathetic to parasympathetic drive. But there is a time and a place for energy boosting herbs. So I'm going to be talking about one of my favorites. Now, there are a number of herbs that can give your energy a boost. These herbs boost your energy in very different ways, and that's part of what I love most about Western herbal medicine. You see, it's not about a plant for a symptom. It's about a plant for a person. Plants have a complex combination of plant chemicals or phytochemicals which come together to create an overall action within your body. Science has demonstrated how many of these actions are achieved, but many more are grounded in the observational evidence or empirical research. Generally, these types of herbs are classed as adaptogens. Adaptogens are plants that help us to deal with stress and maintain balance within our biology. On a physiological level, they tend to interact with our hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, or HPA axis. Your HPA axis is your central nervous system and endocrine system. It's the bridge between us feeling stressed and the cascade of chemicals that trigger our physiological response to the stress. In essence, your hypothalamus nudges your pituitary gland, which in turn nudges your adrenal cortex to put your cortisol to work. So when we take in adaptogens, those plant chemicals work with our HPA axis to even things out. If there's too much of a particular hormone, your adaptogens will help to lower it. Not enough of a particular hormone, and your adaptogenic plant chemicals will help to increase or excite it. Adaptogens also work with the immune system as well. So, let's talk about one of the better known adaptogens, Rhodiola, or Rhodiola rosea. It's traditionally used to increase physical endurance. It's used and has been researched extensively in Russia, and references to its use in Russia, Scandinavia and Germany have been dated back in written form to around 1725. This herb is stimulating, so it's best taken in the morning. It's also been shown to increase attention span, memory and productivity. So think of it in terms of physical and mental energy. It's a powerful antioxidant and it's beneficial at high altitudes. Now, dose is everything, particularly with Rhodiola, with research reporting a stimulating effect with small doses, whereas larger doses can be sedating. Counterintuitive, huh? Interestingly, the research suggests that Rhodiola affects your reticular activating system, or your RAS. It stimulates cognitive functions such as attention span, memory and learning through the prefrontal and frontal cortex of your brain. And it also utilizes your limbic pathways to regulate your emotions and mood. How does it do this? Well, it works with your amygdala, your hypothalamus and your pituitary gland to stimulate your forebrain reward system. Now, this system is associated with pleasure, satiety, energy and drive. And Rhodiola reduces or inhibits cortisol release from your adrenal glands. I mean, really, what's not to love about this beautiful herb, right? When it comes to physicality, Research has confirmed rhodiola's ability to increase our physical work capacity, and it shortens the recovery time needed between intense workouts. It's also shown to increase your physical stamina. Now here's where adaptogens have the advantage over stimulants. When you take a stimulant, like caffeine for example, you'll get that initial surge where your work capacity is increased. But this is followed by a dip where your work capacity drops off. And as a result of this, you use more of the stimulant. But your body's pretty clever and it adapts. So you get less of the initial surge and you need to compensate by increasing your stimulant dose. Rhodiola, on the other hand, also gives you that initial boost, but the drop-off after the initial surge is less extreme. And one of the more significant effects of long-term stress is the impact of cardiovascular health. Now, long-term stress can exacerbate our use of comforting behaviours such as smoking, overeating, particularly if it's that highly addictive fat-salt combo, and not moving your body. These behaviours have been shown to increase the risk of heart disease and stroke. Now, alongside those unhelpful behaviours, the increased level of cortisol can increase your LDL cholesterol, so that's the less helpful one, triglycerides, blood sugar and blood pressure, all of which increase the risk of heart disease. So it's a double whammy. Now, when researchers studied rhodiola's effect on the heart during emotional and physical stress, here's what they reported. Norepinephrine and epinephrine reduced. Now, in case you're wondering, yep, we used to refer to them as noradrenaline and adrenaline. Now, that's a lot easier to say, isn't it? The activity of the sympathetic nervous system reduced and the parasympathetic nervous system activity increased. This rebalancing improved your heart rate variability, which is a great marker of how recovered you are. As a result of rebalancing sympathetic and parasympathetic activity, participants reported increased energy reserves and that they needed less energy output to do the same stuff. Now, another reason for the energy boost is because ATP increased and so did cellular energy production. So as a result, you've got some happy mitochondria. They also found that the resins found in rhodiola were in fact cardioprotective. Now, I know what you're thinking. I'm going to get me some of that rhodiola. I'm going to take it by the bucket load every day and I'm going to live forever. Or something like that. Remember when I said we match herbs to the person rather than the symptom? Most people who take rhodiola in a balanced way find it improves their mood, their energy levels and their thinking ability. It's great when there's a short-term stressor like exams or starting a new job or moving house. But some people find it to be a bit too stimulating and they feel anxious, jittery, agitated or overstimulated. Now, there are a number of adaptogenic herbs out there that sit across this stimulation spectrum. So if you're prone to agitation or anxiety, another adaptogen may be a more suitable herb for you. Just to be clear, rhodiola is not for you if you're dealing with any kind of excited or agitated state. Nor should people with bipolar disorder take rhodiola if they tend towards a manic state when taking antidepressants or stimulants. So here's the thing. Your body knows exactly what it needs to heal itself, be that herbal, pharmaceutical, food-based, emotional, mind-based medicine. When working as a herbalist with my patients, my job is to connect them with the herbs their body is already searching for. It's an art and a science. Remember, plant medicine is potent medicine. If you have any underlying health conditions, you're pregnant or trying to get pregnant, or you're lactating, or you're taking any medications, don't just rely on the information in this episode or what you find by searching online. Just because it's natural, it doesn't necessarily mean it's good for you. Please do get individualised advice by consulting with your medical herbalist. Not only are they trained in which herbs affect a particular health condition or your current life season, they're also trained in herb-drug interactions and in choosing exactly the right herb or combination of herbs for you. Here's to boosting your energy with Rhodiola. Sending you lots of love. Bye for now. Hey, thanks for listening to today's podcast. Can I ask you a favour? If our conversation spoke to you today, could you please take a moment to leave a 5-star review? Your review will help people discover this podcast, and together we can create a world where there's even more love and more laughter. And if you want to hear more from the Project Joyful podcast, just click the subscribe button. Bye for now.